Hello. This is the longest slide. Hello, I'm Paul Evers with TBD, and I'm a professional student of the craft of advertising, branding, design, or whatever you prefer to call it. In my 22 years of practicing advertising, I haven't stopped learning, and that's really why I love it. I wanted to talk tonight about what inspires me most. When I reflected on that, the word that came forward immediately for me was conviction. So I was curious about that. Not as in being convicted of a crime, but as in commitment, confidence, sincerity, passion, and fervor. To those who know me, the idea of conviction might seem like a weighty subject. I really enjoy not taking life that seriously. And a teammate even tried to talk me into changing it to a topic like play and how play is critical to innovation and creativity. I saw her point because, I really believe in that, and I thought she was right. I found myself leaning in that direction. I thought changing topics might be okay. I work at TBD. That seemed logical. But then I felt like a cop-out, so I'm sticking with conviction. As a creative person and an artist, I draw my inspiration from many who I'd consider creative geniuses. Monet, Van Gogh, Michelangelo, Lloyd Wright, Leibowitz, Goetz, Jackson, O'Brien, Jay, and Wyden. I suppose the theme conviction was born out of a suspicion that behind every great creative, great artist, lies an unbending conviction. What else would drive Claude Monet to paint a portrait of his wife after she died, basically from starvation? While I've always seen myself as being artistic, I've never really seen myself as being that creative, clever, or even really that smart. What I lack in ingenuity, I make up for in persistence, in an undying belief in possibilities, conviction. What is it that drives someone to create something extraordinary, to spend endless hours and sleepless nights to bring a vision to fruition, to defy the resistance of logic and convention, to risk appearing a fool? Here's a commonly accepted myth. We're able to commit to doing something only after feeling the motivation to do so. In reality, it's the other way around. We don't feel the motivation until after we've made the commitment. It's conviction that drives motivation. It wasn't until after Kennedy declared to Congress that the nation should put a man on the moon and return him safely to the earth that the nation actually had the motivation to do so. Sometimes advertising feels a lot like trying to put a man on the moon. Creating messages that connect powerfully with people takes even more conviction than creativity. The willingness to create, then fail, then create again, then fail again, then create again, and then pick yourself back up and create again. Kennedy was moved by the conviction of many, notably those brave enough to lead the civil rights movement. In June 1963, Medgar Evers, Mississippi's first field secretary for the NAACP, was gunned down in front of his home, in front of his family. Weeks prior to Medgar's assassination, his wife, Myrlie Evers, made a promise to Medgar. They knew he was in grave danger. Myrlie made a promise to him that should he be killed, she would do whatever it took to see that justice was served. There were many who attempted to convince Myrlie to give up her fight. They told her it was a waste of energy, a frivolous effort, and that she should move on with her life and just forget about it. In spite of this, Myrlie kept up her promise. This promise took 30 years to fulfill. Medgar's assassin was acquitted twice by all-white juries. Myrlie finally succeeded in bringing Byron de la Beckwith back to trial based on new evidence. He was convicted in 1994 because Myrlie kept a promise. While we may share a last name, I'm not lucky enough to call Myrlie a relative, but I'm blessed enough to call her a friend. Last year, I accompanied her to the National Civil Rights Museum. She received their Freedom Award. I learned a lot about conviction there. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely in no way attempting to compare the challenges and struggles of our incidental life in advertising with those who gave up their lives to champion human rights. But when you're spending endless hours and sleepless nights working to bring a vision to fruition, defying the resistance of logic and convention, risking appearing a fool, you have to draw from a deeper, more resonant source of inspiration. Certainly, leading a creative ad agency or even a hot dog stand for that matter through 2009 required great conviction. the kind of conviction I find best represented in larger aspects of life, aspects outside the creative circle. I've heard Murley say many moving and inspiring things, but this one I'll leave with you. I understand the pain and the challenges, and my attitude is one of standing up with open arms to meet them all. Thank you very much. Yeah.